Welcome to Flow with Mo. I'm Mo, and I appreciate you sharing your practice with me today. It's not always easy to make it this far, but we made it, and I'm so appreciative that you decided to share your practice with me today. I want us to focus on the breath as we flow through each asana. I challenge you to deeply inhale with everything you got, and exhale and let it go with everything you got. Take what you find today on the mat and carry it out into the day-to-day. On and off the mat, I want you to challenge yourself to focus on the breath. So, when you're ready, I'm so excited you're here. I'll meet you on the mat. Let's do it. Beginning in easy pose, I want you to take a moment and focus on the breath. You can close the eyes, place the hand to the heart. Take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale back through the nose. Let's do that a few times, grounding down through the hips, expanding through the chest. Maybe you find the exhale comes out the mouth. That's okay. Recenter, refocus on inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Maybe the left hand takes the Gyan Mudra, so thumb meets the pointer finger to make a O. The pinky, middle, and ring finger extended and joined together. Let's take one more. Inhale, get big. Exhale through the nose. Let it go. Slowly open your eyes if they were closed. And take a moment here to do a few seated cat-cows. So we're going to inhale, get big, chest expands and opens up to the front. Shoulders low and shoulders drawn back. Exhale, let it go. Round out through the spine. Pull the belly button back. Inhale, come back to neutral. Let's take one more of those. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back to neutral position. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms out, extend through the elbows. Reach, 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 tall spine. On the next inhale, slowly begin to lean to the right. You can keep the fingers interlaced here, or the right hand can grab the left wrist and pull, 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 extending. Try to keep your shoulders and your torso square to the front. Feel the pull through your middle body here. When you're ready, inhale, come back up to the neutral position. And we're going to take this to the left. Inhale, slowly start to lean to the left. Left hand can come to the right wrist, pulling and extending deeper and deeper into the stretch. Inhale, come back up to a neutral position. If you were grabbing the wrist, go ahead and interlace the fingers again. Turn the palms to the sky for one last stretch. Really try to pull the shoulders down towards the ground here. Unlace the fingers, slowly bring the arms down. and around to the back, where we'll interlace the fingers again, turn the palms out, and extend the arms up, slowly making our way down, forehead to the ground. Be aware of your shoulders here, and try to keep your hips on the ground. We're here for a few breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, slowly lower the arms and simultaneously bring the chest up. Roll the shoulders back down. Exhale and slowly let it go. Bring a soft round to the spine. On the next inhale, we're going to bring the right hand right behind the seat here. And it's going to be support for our back because we want to lengthen and have a straight back, lengthen through the spine. The left hand is going to slightly push against the upper right thigh to give us that subtle twist. So sit up on those seat bones, lengthen up through the spine, and slowly twist here. Gaze is set over the right shoulder. We're here for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's take all my breath for fun. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, slowly release the left arm and twist back to neutral position. We're going to take this twist on the left. So left hand comes behind the seat, right hand settles on the outside of the left thigh, subtle twist. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale. Ground down through the seat bones. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, subtly twist back to neutral spine. And we're going to make our way to tabletop position to take a few cat-cows. Hands and feet, shoulder width apart here. Rock just subtly back and forth to warm up the wrists a little bit. If you want to turn the fingers to face the knees and rock back and forth a few times, go ahead and do what you need to warm the wrist up while we're here in tabletop. And when you're ready, we're going to take a few cat-cows. On the inhale, we're slowly going to pull the belly button up towards the sky, rounding out through the spine. Drop the head, drop the hips. We're in cat pose. Exhale, slowly lift the head and the tailbone. Drop the spine. Cow. Let's take a few more. Inhale, round out through the spine. Exhale, lift the head, lift the tailbone. One more. Grounding down through the hands and the knees and the feet. Round out through the spine. Exhale, let it go. Lift the head, lift the tailbone. Inhale, coming back to a neutral spine. We're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, and make our way into the first downward dog of the evening. Pedal it out here if you need to. Really ground down through the hands and through the feet, with your shoulder and hip width apart. Let's pause here for a deep breath, focusing on a 3 to 4 count inhalation. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 6, 7. One more. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 6, 7. Inhale. Come down to the forearms, keeping the legs straight, keeping the forearms parallel to one another. The challenge here is to try to get the heels to touch the ground. We're in Dolphin Pose. Pause here for a few breaths. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Drop the head. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale, pull the shoulder blades together. Exhale. Inhale, drop the knees and tuck the toes. And rock on back into child's pose. You can keep the arms extended overhead, or you can bring them back by your side, turning the wrists so that the outer side of your palm is on the mat. Chest rest on the knees, torso rest on the knees. We're going to take a moment to briefly pause and focus on the breath, which is why we're here. That's what we're challenging ourselves to do. So child's pose is a great pose to take a moment, focus on the breath, reset, and then we're going to make our way back into downward dog. Take as long as you need. I'm going to stay here for 3 breaths. Forehead touches the mat. Here we go. When you're ready, slowly come back. Palms meet the mat if they were down by your sides. And walk them out just a little bit so that you can tuck your toes and make your way back into downward facing dog. Once you're there, go ahead and take 3-legged downward facing dog. So we're going to lift the right foot off the ground. Slowly lift through the hips first and then extend through the knee. You can stay here if you need to, because we're going to slowly open up the hips and make our way into wild thing. So if you want to pause here for a moment, go ahead. If you want to extend through the knee, we're here for a conscious breath, 3 or 4 counts. On the inhale, on the exhale. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, go ahead and bend the knee if your leg was extended. Slowly open up the hips and control through the abs on the way down. The right foot slowly meets the ground. Extend up through the hips and through the arm. Gaze is set on the right hand. Wild thing. Hold here for 3 breaths. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, push yourself, you got this. Exhale. Lifting through the hips, go ahead and make your way back to 3-legged downward facing dog. So right now, a lot of my weight is in my back, my right foot. What I'm going to do is as I rotate my hips, slowly shift the weight back into my left foot. And using my abs, push my way up into 3-legged downward facing dog. Slowly bring the right leg down. Left side. Slowly bring left leg up. 3-legged downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knee, open up the hips. Control the way down. Wild thing. Gaze is set on the left hand. Open up the chest, open up the hips. Push them up towards the sky. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze through the glutes. Exhale. Inhale, slowly shift the weight onto the right foot, twisting and making your way back to three-legged downward facing dog. Slowly lower the leg. We're back in downward facing dog. Inhale, drop the knees, shift them back, taking a brief child's pose. When you're ready, inhale, step the right foot forward, making your way into a low lunge. Untuck the left toes, lift the left knee. If you want to take a bind here, you can, or you can stay with the palms on the ground here in the lunge. If you're taking a bind, the right hand loops underneath the right knee, almost hugging the upper thigh. Lift the chest, bring the left arm up and around the back to meet the right hand. Open up the chest. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. If you're in a bind, go ahead and untwist. Hands meet the mat. Extend the right knee. Lower the left heel. Press the chest into the upper thigh. Gaze is set on the right knee. We're going to hold here for just a minute. Right hand is on the outside of the right foot. Go ahead and open up the chest. Peel open, extend through the left arm, revolve triangle. Toes are facing the top of the mat right now, so we're going to turn the back toes out 90 degrees so that they're facing the top of the mat. Gaze is set on the left hand. Inhale, bring the left hand down. Turn the heel back so that the toes are both facing the top of the mat again. And bring the right foot back so that you find yourself in downward facing dog. We're going to take a low lunge on the left now. So step the left foot forward. If you were in a bind before, you can go back there. If you want to hold here for a moment with your palms on the ground, that's fine too. Either way, we're here for 3 breaths. Go ahead and get yourself ready. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, unbind if you were bound. Extend and straighten the left knee. Hold here for just a moment, lowering and feeling the pull as you lower down your right heel. When you're ready, peel open the chest. Lift and extend and straighten the right arm. Gaze is set on the right thumb. We're here for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We're in revolve triangle. Exhale. Go ahead and turn that right foot out 90 degrees so that it's facing the front. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift up through the right arm, lower down, and we're going to turn the left toes to face the front here. Go ahead and readjust if you need to, because we're going to make our way down into a wide-legged forward fold. So We're going to start with the hands on the hips, and we're going to hinge from the hips here, making sure the toes are still facing the front. We're extended out through our knee. Keep the chest lifted for as long as possible, making your way down, forehead to the ground. Once your forehead makes it to the ground, go ahead and put your palms down so that you have a little bit more support when you get down there. We're going to hold here for 3 breaths once you get there. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. When you're ready, go ahead and make your way to a halfway lift. Hands are going to come to heart center, but behind the back, and we're going to lower back down. If that is a little bit too much for you, you can stay in the halfway lift for just a moment and then make your way back down to forehead to the ground. We're going to spend a breath or two with the hands to heart, but behind the back. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Go ahead and bring the palms back to the earth or to the ground if they were behind your head. And we're going to separate the fingers, really ground down through the hands here because we're going to stabilize with the left and lift and open up the chest into a revolved wide-legged forward bend. So extend up through the right arm, open up the chest, hold here. Inhale, lower down, and we're going to do the same on the left. Peel open the chest, extend through the left arm. Look up at the sky. Inhale, lower the left arm down. And we're just going to heel toe, walk the feet in till they get to a point where they're about shoulder width apart because we're going to make our way into bound Garland pose. So heel toe, feel the hips rise. And once you get to a comfortable position to where you can squat down, that's about how far you need your feet to be apart. So hands can come to heart center, or if it's in your practice, you can take a few bound angles here, so where you can bind on the right and on the left. If you decide not to bind, stay right here and focus on using your elbows to push your knees apart so that you can really feel that in your hips. And you want to focus on centering, grounding down through your feet, and lowering your tailbone to the earth. Imagine there's like a string and it's just pulling your tailbone down. And then you got a string on both of your knees, on the outside of your knees here, just pulling your knees apart. If you'd like to bind on each side, you can take the right arm first and tuck it underneath the right upper thigh. Open up the chest, bring the left arm up and around to meet the right hand behind the back, and really focus here on centering the center while also pushing both the knees out because you don't have something pushing this one out now, so you have to do it yourself. Then you can bind on that side, take the same thing on the left hand wraps underneath the upper left thigh, right arm comes up and around, gaze is set up, and you grab the hand behind. Either way, whatever you choose, I find that I get a more in-depth stretch for me personally here, so I'm going to stay here. Wherever you choose, we're going to hold here for 3 breaths. If you want to just do a subtle rock back and forth, you can do that as well. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, go ahead and sit back so that the seat comes in contact with the ground. You're going to bend the right leg, set the knee down so it's at a 90-degree angle. Take the left foot, cross it over the right knee, and we're going to use the right elbow to push against the left knee so that we feel that pull right here. And slight twist, half forward of the fish pose. Right or left hand, I like to put it behind my lower back so that it reminds me to sit up straight and really lengthen through the spine. If you naturally sit up more straight, you can, and you've got more support with the left hand on the outside of the hip, you can place it there as well. Whatever gives you more twist. I find whenever it's slightly behind me, I can really use that as leverage to push. Whatever is more comfortable for you. We're going to hold here for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, gaze is set over the left shoulder. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, slowly untwist and settle back to a neutral position. And just do a little propeller move here with the legs so that the left knee is underneath the right and the right foot is on the outside of the left upper thigh. Slight twist here. We're going to use the left elbow to push up against the right knee. Right hand comes slightly behind us, supporting the lower back and reminding us to lengthen up and pull up through the spine. The trick also here is to keep both hips on the ground. So don't let one subtly lift. If you find that one's lifting, you're kind of leaning one way and you see that my hip's off the ground, you want to try to keep it to where your weight is distributed evenly and your right hip stays in contact with the mat. The right or the left palm can face out here, giving you a little bit more of a twist here. Don't let the shoulder do what I just did. Don't let that step out of place. Straighten up through the spine and really twist and open up the chest. Here for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Pull that right knee in towards you. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Slowly untwist. Twisting the torso first and then untwisting the legs. And go ahead and extend the legs out to a seated wide angle position. From here, you can either grab the big toe, interlacing the pointer fingers around the big toe here, and take a slight forward bend. Or if you're not quite there, you can rest the palms on the shins and focus on hinging from the waist and extending forward. Wide angle pose here. We want to keep a flat back, lowering the chest down to the ground. Inhale, sit up. Bring the right leg around to meet the left. We find ourselves sitting up tall in a seated forward fold. Fingers can interlace around the big toes again to pull, to give you a little bit more pull here. Let's hold here for just a moment. Really lengthening through the spine, focusing on keeping a flat back. Alright, inhale, sit up. We're going to bend the left knee, trying to make a 90-degree angle. Swing the right leg back and around, making our leg to pigeon pose. If you have blocks, I really like to use blocks here because my hips are not that flexible, especially after having Princeton. So I'm working on really consciously opening my hips up So if that's you, if you find yourself wanting to get a deeper hip stretch here in pigeon, you can take your block, and you have blocks or if you have books, take the blocks, put one underneath your knee, and then try to line them up to where they're parallel to each other, but my hips aren't there yet, so I'm going to scoot my front one back a little bit so that my foot makes it on there, and we're going to use this to really push down and ground down to the right hip. We're in pigeon pose, sitting up tall, pressing the shoulders back. It's like a beam of light. It's just shooting out through our chest. Really sit up tall. Inhale, but if you're using blocks, you can put your hands in the blocks. If not, put your hands on the mat. Untuck the right toes. Send the left foot back so you find yourself in downward facing dog. And we're going to take pigeon on the right. Inhale, step the right foot forward. Make your way into pigeon. Ooh, I'm a lot more flexible on this side. Yeah, this is my good side. Take notice of that. Which side do you feel like you can sink a little bit more into the posture in while focusing on your breath? Here we go. Let's take a few breaths here. Wherever you are, take one more breath. Tuck the left toes. Send the right foot back. Make your way back into downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Step or jump to the top of the mat. So that was my jump. If you want to step, you can just step to the top of the mat. Landing in halfway lift. So we have flat spine, ground down through the feet. Exhale, forward fold. Gaze is set on the belly button. Knees extended. Drop the head. Inhale, come up. Palms meet, look up. Upward salute. Exhale, arms come down. Mountain pose. Inhale, lift the right foot, making your way into tree pose. I'll do my tree pose to the front so that you can see it, but traditionally face the top of the mat. So inhale, lift the right foot, making its way to either the upper thigh or you can balance down here on the lower shin. I personally find it a little bit easier because I got a little bit more meat up here to balance and really push the bottom of my foot, my right foot, into my upper thigh. Hands come to heart center. We're going to hold here for 3 breaths. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the head. You royalty. Keep that head up. Focus on the breath. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Lengthen through the spine. Ground down through the foot. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lower the right foot down slowly. And peel the left foot up off the floor, making your way into the variation of tree pose that feels the most comfortable for you. Notice if you can balance a little bit better on one side than the other. Really focus on where your tension lies. I find that I'm focusing right here and focusing on pressing the bottom of my left foot into my upper right thigh, and I'm focusing on grounding down through my feet. It's okay if you fall out. Just get back in there. Meet yourself where you are. Remember, that's what we promised ourselves at the beginning of practice. Really focus on the breath here. Inhale, slowly lower the right foot down to the ground. So we're at the top of the mat here. We're almost to Savasana. We've almost made it. So right before we get there, we're going to take a shoulder stand. And the way that I like to get into my shoulder stand is traditionally once I've come back up from like a downward facing dog like variation of to mountain pose. Once you get to mountain pose, go ahead and slowly lower down, almost through like a chair pose, and use that momentum to roll back and push your way up into the shoulder stand. Once you get there, the main thing that you want to focus on is keeping all of the weight up here on the top of your shoulders. So you want to roll your hips back as far as they'll make it first, and then hands are here to support you. You can even lean back on your hands slightly, and then just extend through the knees. And we're in shoulder stand. Really squeeze through the glutes here. If it's in your practice, you can go ahead and make your way down to Plow Pose. And the way that I like to do that is bend the knees first, push the hips forward slightly until my knees meet the ground, and then extend the legs straight, or keep them bent. If Plow Pose is not quite in your practice, you can stay in the shoulder stand. If you're still working your way up into the shoulder stand, focus on just rolling back and pushing the hips up, and doing that a few times until you make your way all the way up onto the tops of your shoulders. Wherever you're at, whether it's in Plow Pose, shoulder stand, or rolling up, focus on your breath. 3 breaths. Arms are extended behind you in Plow Pose, if you're there. Push up through the knees. On your next inhale, untuck the toes if you're extended in Plow Pose, and slowly roll down through the spine until you make your way to Savasana. If you're in a shoulder stand this way, just slowly lower the hips down, roll down through the spine, extend the legs. If you were rolling back and forth, just go ahead on the next roll and make your way slowly into Savasana. We're here. You made it. It might have been difficult to step on the mat at first, but look where you are now. Feel where you are now. Notice the breath. How do you feel? You accomplished a lot of great things today on the mat, and I'm so happy that you decided to share this space with me. As you focus on your breath here, think about the ways that you can take this feeling right now